Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary peoples. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Saturday, September 24th. It's my mom's birthday today. She is 55. Yes, 55 today. So happy birthday to her. I also just realized I didn't do a fantasy baseball video on Thursday. And so I'm not gonna bother. I'll just wait till Monday and pump one out. And baseball season's almost over. If you made it this far into the playoffs, you don't really need me anymore. And if you do have some lineup questions on which pitchers to pick up, go ahead and hit me up, and I will happily help you out with that one. But this will be the running back spikes and yikes video for week 3. I posted the wide receivers late last night. It wasn't supposed to be that late. I filmed it at like 7-ish, 7:30, and uploaded it. I think it finally uploaded around 11 p.m. And not much going on here today. I'm gonna call my mom later. It's a little early in the morning now. It's only like 8 a.m. which I'm sure she's up, but I don't know her work schedule. It changes so frequently. I'm pretty sure it changes like every month, and I'm not there to keep up with it, so it's just hard to get a hold of her. So I'll just try later on when I get some more downtime. Yeah, I don't know, not much else to say. What movie did I just watch? Pearl. Pearl was okay. I liked X. I thought X was a more interesting movie, but Pearl was, it was good. It was cool. I think Mia Goth's a really good actress, and she did good. Both of those movies, X and Pearl, were definitely a little different, much more creative than what we've seen pumped out of Hollywood most of the time. So both worth watching. Now I think I'm not sure how many new movies are out this weekend, but it's nice to be caught up. So now I've got a week to watch. It's probably two movies out this weekend. So I'll end up watching them. And what else? I don't know. Not much. Nothing else going on. Still getting no dates. I just finished reading The Terminal List. It was okay book. I wasn't super into it. It took way too long to get to the vengeance part, which is the part that I enjoy. And then the ending. The ending was kind of dumb. There's like a little twist at the end that I wasn't into, so I wasn't super impressed with the book, but it was interesting enough. The show, I probably won't watch the show because it's on Amazon Prime. I don't have Prime anymore, even though I probably should get it back for the next, at least for Christmas season, because it is useful to have for the holidays, and Thursday Night Football's on there now. So yeah, I'm considering repurchasing it again until January or so. But for now, I'm fine without it. Netflix is my one and only streaming service, and I think Netflix is charging too much nowadays. As for the running backs, let's get to the top 30 list. So your running back ones for week 3, Jonathan Taylor is number 1, even though he hasn't really lived up to it yet. Jonathan Taylor versus Chiefs. That's your number 1. Number 2, we got Christian McCaffrey versus the Saints. Number 3, we got Dalvin Cook versus the Lions. I know Dalvin Cook hasn't really played well yet either, but I'm thinking this game is going to be a top 5 week for him. 4, we got Austin Eckler versus Jaguars. 5, Joe Mixon at the Jets. 6 through 10, we got Saquon Barkley versus the Cowboys. 7, we got DeAndre Swift at the Vikings. 8, we got Leonard Fournette versus the Packers. 9, we have Derrick Henry versus the Raiders. And 10, we have Alvin Kamara at the Panthers. So my first yike, I am yiking somebody in this top 10. The running back ones is Alvin Kamara at 10. I'm not sure. It sounds like he's still questionable, and he didn't play last week. He may not play this week. And even if he does play, I don't think he's going to be 100%. And so I have a hard time seeing him put up running back 1 numbers this week. And I have another guy later on who I'm spiking, who I think is a top 10 running back this week instead of Alvin Kamara. So moving on to the running back 2s. We got Javonte Williams versus the 49ers at 11. 12, we got James Conner versus the Rams. 13, we got David Montgomery versus the Texans. 14, we have Antonio Gibson versus the Eagles. 15, we have Aaron Jones at Tampa Bay. 16, we got Miles Sanders versus at the Commanders. 17, we got Ezekiel Elliott at the Giants. 18, we got A.J. Dillon at the Buccaneers. So Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, pretty close, both in that 15 to 20 range. Back in running back 2 range. The production so far this season does warrant this ranking. 19, we got Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the Colts. And 20, we got Michael Carter versus the Bengals. So, a lot of adjustments with this part of the rankings. Running back 2 and running back 2s. I'm yiking someone else here at 12. We got James Conner. I don't think James Conner's going to play. So having him as a high-end running back 2 seems quite what's the word I'm looking for? Quite optimistic for someone who's not going to play. James Conner is a lot lower on this list. James Conner is, if I was ranking him, which I don't honestly, I don't take the time to do my own rankings. I just go off other people's the experts' rankings, and then I adjust them based on, spiking and yiking. But James Conner would be more of a flex play for me. He'd be in the 20 to 30 range for me this week, just because of the fact I don't think he's going to play. But I think I take injuries into account a little bit more than everybody else. I think if James Conner does play, he's probably a running back 2, but I would still have him. I think I'd have him in the 16 to 20 range for the week. My other yiking, a couple of other guys in this range too, starting with Ezekiel Elliott at 17 versus the Giants. I was a believer in Zeke coming into this year because I loved his draft value. I thought that he's, for all these years, he's been going as a running back 1, and now this year we could get him at like late running back 2, early running back 3 price. I loved it, so I was drafting him where I could, but he's bad. He's not even a top 40 running back this year. Tony Pollard is outperforming him again, and I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like Ezekiel Elliott, but I do have a lot of shares of Zeke. It would be nice to see him perform, and because he hasn't really performed well in a couple of years. The only thing that's keeping him afloat in these rankings is the volume. He's still getting a lot of carries. He's just not doing anything with those carries, and so it's hard to rank him. He's a flex for me just because of the lack of productivity, but he's only a flex because of the volume. If he wasn't getting 15 touches a game, he would not be in my top 30, but because of all the touches he's getting, you have to keep him his rank semi lofty. But man, we need to see a lot more from Zeke Elliott, because he's definitely on the verge of losing his job to Tony Pollard. And honestly, he probably should have already. He's just, the only reason he hasn't is because how much money Dallas is paying him. And then another yike in this range at 20, Michael Carter versus the Bengals. I know he's very talented. I like both Jets running backs. I think they're both very good. But until we really see one separate from the other, it's hard for me to rank either of them in the top 20. And the fact that we have Breece Hall, who, I don't want to spoil these rankings for you, but Breece Hall's not even in this top 30 this week. Michael Carter's way up at 20. I don't think there's that big of a disconnect, that big of a disparity between the two right now for one to be top 20 and the other just not be in the top 30 at all. I have Michael Carter lower. He's a flex play for me, not a running back 2. And then 4, I do have a spike in this range. Aaron Jones at 15. I really think Aaron Jones is going to have a big week against Tampa. I have him as a running back 1. He's in my top 10. I'm moving him up to 10. Moving Alvin Kamara down to like 11 or 12 or, something. High end, Alvin Kamara, the high end running back 2. Aaron Jones, a low end running back 1 for me this week. 15 is way low. Moving on to the running back 3s. We got at 21, we got Josh Jacobs at the Titans. Josh Jacobs is not going to play. It's already confirmed that he's not traveling with the team tomorrow. So that's a pretty clear sign he's not going to play. So Josh Jacobs is completely off the board for me. He should be completely out of your lineups as well. 22, we got Cordarrelle Patterson at the Seahawks. 23, we got James Robinson at the Chargers. 24, we got Dameon Pierce at the Bears. 25, we got Jeff Wilson at the Broncos. 26, we got Damian Harris versus Baltimore. 27, Tony Pollard at the Giants. Tony Pollard makes his first appearance in the ranks in the top 30. 28, we got Rashad Penny versus the Falcons. 29, we got Darrell Henderson at the Cardinals. And at 30, we got Devin Singletary at the Dolphins. So for this range, spikes and yikes, I already kind of told you my yikes. Josh Jacobs, get him out of here. Get him off your board. Get him on your bench. Get him on your IR. And pick up someone else for depth. Lots of spikes in this range though. 23, James Robinson. What has James Robinson done this year to think that he deserves this disrespect? It's been a top 15 running back, possibly top 10. His season so far is very reminiscent of Adrian Peterson's MVP year. So, I mean, if the Jaguars can hang around, if they can truly win the AFC South, I think James Robinson is going to be one of the better MVP candidates. James Robinson is conservatively a top 15 running back for me this week, and he probably deserves to be higher than that, honestly. So I just don't understand why these experts keep disrespecting him and putting him in the flex ranks. Other spikes down at the bottom end of the running back 3s. I got Rashad Penny versus Atlanta. I think this is going to be a game where it's going to favor the run game, the style of play that Seattle wants. Very heavy running the ball. So Rashad Penny and Kenneth Walker, who is way down at 49, who I still am high on Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is going to be a flex play for me this week. So I don't know. It's kind of tough. I guess I would probably. I don't know if I'd put Kenneth Walker in the top 30, so maybe he's not such a flex play for me because I don't know who I'm taking out other than Josh Jacobs. But there's someone else outside the top 30 who I'm going to talk about as a spike later, who is going to take Josh Jacobs' spot in the top 30 for me this week. Kenneth Walker, though, definitely if you're in a deeper league and you need a sneaky flex play, Kenneth Walker's a great choice. Rashad Penny as well. It's hard to put him in the top 20 just because Kenneth Walker's there. They're both going to kind of cancel each other out a little bit, but they're both going to be productive, very relevant running backs this week and every week moving forward. And then at 30, the very bottom of the ranks, we got Devin Singletary at the Dolphins. I really like this matchup for Singletary, as I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game, and not all of them are going to be passing touchdowns, even though it's probably 90% of them are going to be passing touchdowns. But I think Devin Singletary is the one running back who I like to get one in this game, and so Plus, it's in South Florida. Devin Singletary's from South Florida. He's going to want to put on a good show for his friends and family to show up. I like Devin Singletary a lot. Definitely a strong flex play for me. I'd have him up in the high-end 20s. Yeah, and then the one more running back outside the top 30 who I want to spike is Chase Edmonds versus the Bills. Again, a lot of points are expected to be scored in this game, and a lot of passes are going to be thrown. That's Chase Edmonds' forte, catching balls, and I think he's got a chance to have a very nice day, and he's in my top 30 instead of Josh Jacobs this week, because Josh Jacobs, again, I reiterate that Josh Jacobs is not going to play. He hasn't been officially ruled out yet, but I'm 99% certain that he's not going to play for the Raiders. And I think the Raiders are going to start 0-3. So I think the Titans are, Titans are too good to be looking this bad. I think it's going to be a good day for Derrick Henry as well. So running back number 9 might be a little conservative. But I mean, you can't really a running back 1's a running back 1. I'm not really going to argue with whether he should be ranked at 6 or 9. I mean, that's just kind of irrelevant. So yeah, there's also Cam Akers to watch out for. He's at 32. We got Darrell Henderson 29. So they're pretty close. I do think Darrell Henderson's the superior running back. But they had a pretty even split in touches last week, and that's probably going to continue again this week, though it remains to be seen who's going to be the more productive back. My money, if I was to put money on it, would be Darrell Henderson, but we'll see. It's a very fluid situation there in LA. That's why both of them are in the low-end flex consideration. But based on talent, I think Darrell Henderson, if the Rams would just give him the opportunity to be the bell cow or be the guy who gets the majority of the touches, he would be a weekly running back too, probably. But yep, that's it. Not much else to say. That's your week 3 spikes and yikes. I'm going to try to condense it down into a shorter little Facebook post or something for the people who don't want to sit through 2 hours or whatever the length time is in all these videos. So yeah, can't wait. Tomorrow is going to be the first Sunday of the season where I'm actually going to be able to sit down and watch the games. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. That's why I've been working every day this week at Uber to get ahead so that I can afford to take tomorrow off, even though I'm going to go back out Sunday night after the games, the day games, and work Sunday. So I'm still going to put more miles, more money in my pocket. But I'm also, trying to catch up from the last 2 weeks, trying to get ahead because I got a big vacation coming up and I got to pay my rent soon. So yeah, but I am gonna watch the morning games, from 10 to 4:30 or whatever, however late they run tomorrow, and then I'll go out and work the night, probably till about midnight or something. So still gonna put in an almost 6-7 hour day tomorrow, and see if I can set a new record for money made in a week. I think my current record is like 840 or something, and that's, I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't try to get that kind of money, but like that's with, just casually doing it, not really stressing out. This week, I'm making a very conscious effort to put in a 40-hour week and to go out 7 days a week and make as much money as I can. So right now, through 5 days, I'm at 610. That's not counting today. Usually Saturday, Sunday are the busiest days for me because I go out all day. So today could possibly put me over 800 for the week already, with Sunday still to go. So I'm pretty impressed, pretty proud of myself. Every dollar is gonna help right now. All right, peace, love, nacho fries. Good luck, best wishes, stay healthy. Hit me up with questions.